20th of May, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi.
Sorry, mate.
Well,
Okay. Pasuk Dalet, we up to. Lou, would you like to read?
Uvashana Hashvi'is Shabbos Shabbason Yeh.
Actually, the truth is, we didn't read Pasuk Gimel. There's no Rashi on Pasuk Gimel. Let's read Pasuk Gimel first. Okay? Let's go back one.
Let's see, where's Gimel start?
Hey, Shonim.
Shanim Tizra Sadecha Vishesh Shanim Tizmor Karmecha Safta Es Tivu Asa.
Okay.
Next year you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and you may gather its crop.
Right.
Uvashana Hashavi'is Shabbason Yeh La'aretz Shabbos Lashem Sadcha Lo Sizra Behar Mecha Lo Sees more. But on the 7th year, a Shabbos of Shabboses, it will be for the land a Shabbos for Hashem. Your field you will not sow, and your vineyard you will not prune.
You must not.
Must not prune.
Okay, both of them. You must not sow your field, and your vineyard you must not prune. Okay?
Yeah, la'aretz.
By the way, Shabbos means like a time of total cessation of work.
Yeh la'aretz, says Rashi. Lasados, for the fields. Vilakiramim, and for the vineyards.
What Rashi's pointing out is, doesn't mean the 7th year doesn't mean you have to stop building or doing anything other work with the land. It's only agricultural work which is forbidden. So that's what Rashi says. Yeh la'aretz, to be a total cessation of work for the land. That means for fields and vineyards.
But it says that explicitly. In Pasuk 3, it says you should not sow your field and you should not prune.
Pasuk 4, that's just where we are. Yeah, but he's saying it's not just sowing and pruning, which is forbidden, means all forms of agricultural work are forbidden.
I see. Lo sees more. Shekotzesin ze mor oseha, because they cut off its vines.
Not because. Means that they cut, means the action. Rashi's explaining what does the word lo sizmor. mean? Doesn't mean you mustn't sing. Okay?
Oh, yeah,
Right? Lezamer means to sing. Rashi
right.
says it doesn't mean that. So leisizmor means you mustn't prune. Which means that Rashi explains that is shekotitzins meirosel. You cut off its branches, its dried branches. But Talgumoi,
The Targumo lo sich stach. As it is rendered by Targum, Onkelos, as do not trim.
right? Now, what Rashi's proving is you often find you have this word that's sometimes not uncommon in Hebrew that, in other words, Zemora is a branch. Lizmor over here means to cut off the branches, not to make the branches grow. That's what it means. As Rashi says. That's what it says. Lo sismor. Sismor means shekoitzitzin zmoirosel. You cut off its branches. That is the verb used. Lizmor means to cut off the branches. Rashi elsewhere says, if I do, Rashi actually in a different context, but Rashi says sometimes the Moshel in Hebrew to take root means you say lahashrish. If you want to plant a tree and to have it take root, it means lahashrish. To uproot is lesharesh. You're using the same root but in a different conjugation. Okay, so here you have a similar thing, but it's not. There's no actually two opposites over here. Lezame over here, lo sizmor means to not you means to prune, which means a zemira is a branch, and you mustn't cut off its branches, and that's what Rashi is proving from the Targum. The Targum lo sichsach, lo v'doimeloi kaitzim kesuchim, kaitzim thorns. Thorns, cut down thorns, or srufa eish kesucha, burnt with a by the fire, kesucha, cut down. Okay, so that's you've got the two examples of where the term Rashi brings that kesucha means to be cut down, and that's why Rashi proves that the word leisizmar doesn't mean to have it grow, but it means to cut down. Okay. Yeah, Meir, Pasuk Hey.
Hey, okay. It says, etzafiach kitzarcha lo tiktzor v'et invei nizirecha lo tivtzor shinat shabbaton yihiyeh la'aretz. Okay. So hey, safiach, it says the aftergrowth. Okay.
Yeah, what grows by itself.
Okay, you should not harvest, or your harvest, you should not cut, reap. Okay, and the grapes, nizirecha. Oh, that's
You
from the
have
word
withheld, or should we
that
say,
you withheld. That's like Nazir.
right, exactly.
Okay, you shall not pick. Okay, it is a year of rest for the land, or it will be. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, Rashi. Etzafiach kitzircha. Okay, yes, the aftergrowth of your harvest. Okay, what's left over? Afilu lo zarta. Even if you didn't plant it, v'hi samcha, and it grew. Mizera shenafal ba be'et hakatzir. From the seed that fell on it, okay, at the time of the harvest. Oh, okay. The hu karoi safiak. This is called the extra.
That's Safiach, which means the you call it the aftergrowth. It means what grew by itself without being specifically planted.
Okay, so that would be it like maybe during the wheat harvest the year before, seeds might fly over the land
Right.
and everything.
Right, exactly. And the mamela and they somehow got sown into the ground. And as a result of that, afterwards they started growing.
Uh-huh. Okay. So the next Rashi says, Lo tiktsur, shall not reap. Okay. Lihiyot machazik bo, to possess it. Kishar katsir, like other harvests. Okay. Ella, hefker yihiyeh, but rather it should leave it ownerless. Lechol, for all to take.
For everybody, for all.
Oh, for all.
There should be hefka for everybody.
Oh, okay. Nizir Recha. This was what, keeping away? Let's see. She hinzarta
V'ifrashta
v'ifrashta.
b'nei Adam mehem v'lo yivkartem.
Oh, okay. So what, you kept it from them and separated it. Okay. Separated people from them. The heave kartem, below heave kartem, and you shall not give up ownership of them. Okay. Lo tivtsur, you shouldn't pick them. Otam, okay, those einha the kotzer, you may not pick.
They're both
Ella minha mufker.
only from what's been made onerous.
Oh,
Okay? So this is what Chazal call the Issa of Shomor. That any fruit or produce that has been guarded, right? Is, first of all, you're not allowed to guard it. It's Shomor, right? But also you're not allowed to eat it either. Produce that has been guarded and prevented people from taking freely, that is got a din of that it's forbidden to eat. And it's shomor. Okay? That's what we're going to see about this thing. There's two prohibitions which Chazal said which make the actual produce forbidden to eat. Shomor is something which has been guarded. People have been prevented from picking it. And ne'evad, if the ground was cultivated and afterwards this produce grew, then that produce is forbidden to eat. What do I want to say over here? Okay. But one is allowed to eat. That's what Rashi's pointing out. Elam min hamufka. What is hefka? Anybody's allowed to eat, including the balabais himself. Okay. Pasuk Vav. Lou.
Let's see, Vav. Where is Vav? Here it is. V'haisa Shabbos haaretz lachem leachla lecha ula avdecha v'la'a masecha v'lis chi recha ule so shavcha ha garim imach.
Right.
So let's see. It means the resting of the land shall be yours to eat. For you and for your slave.
Or servant.
Well, is this a slave or a servant?
Even just a servant.
Okay, so in other words, if a person comes to your house each day and cleans and you pay him a
Right.
salary, he's
Yeah,
allowed to eat from your field.
right.
Uh,
Even going technically allowed to eat the produce, Shvius produce.
even who? And for your
Your Indian cleaning lady is allowed to give a Shvius produce.
Oh,
right.
okay.
And what about amasecha? What is that?
Your maidservant.
So is that a slave?
It doesn't necessarily mean a slave.
No.
Your servant and your maidservant.
Okay. And your hired worker, and one who resides with you.
Right. So referring to a ger toshav, also non-Jew.
Okay, so let's see. Rashi says, "V'haisa Shabbos haaretz v'gomer, af al pi she asar tim alecha, even though that I forbade for you,
Right. I made them forbidden for you in certain aspects. However,
lo
however,
va'achila v'lo b'hanaa asartim. I did not forbid them for eating or for benefit. Ella shalo sin hog bahem ke va'al habayis. Only that you should not treat them as if you were the owner.
right.
Rather, hakol yiyu shavim ba. All of it should be equal.
All of you.
All of you should be equal. Atah usechircha v'soshavcha. You and your hired worker and the one who resides with you. Shabbos haaretz lachem leachla. Min ha-shavus ata ochel. From that which has been rested from, you may eat. Ve'i ata ochel, but if you eat,
No, the you're not allowed to eat.
but if you may not eat, but you may not eat.
Right.
Eat. So it's like ve'i afshar.
No, and not veloy. So the is like veloy.
And you will not eat min ha shamur, from that which has been guarded.
Anyway,
Lecha ula avdecha v'la misecha, for you and your servant and your maidservant. Lefi shene'amar, since it says, v'achlu avo
Evyonei amecha.
evyonei amecha, and the destitute of your people shall eat.
Right. It says elsewhere in Parshas Mishpatim that Hashvias Tishmetenu Tashta, right? The 7th year you should let it lie fallow. And the poor people, the poor of your people shall eat. So I might think, Yochel, I might think, you are surim ba'achile la'ashirim, that it's forbidden to be eaten by the rich.
Ah,
Yeah?
Right.
okay.
Talmud Loima.
The Torah teaches, Lecha ula avdecha v'la'amisecha, you and your servant and your female servant.
Right.
Hare ba'alim, see now that
Well, okay,
owners,
hooray.
va'avadim, and servants, ushefachos, and female servants, murim kan, are
Are
stated here.
mentioned, right, which means who generally has servants and maidservants?
Rich people.
Wealthy people.
Yeah.
So you see, even somebody who has servants and maidservants, he's also allowed to eat of it. Besides his servants, for sure.
Right. Velis chircha ula so shavcha, af hanichrim, hanachrim, even if they're not Jewish.
Right.
So does that mean that these non-Jewish people are restricted? They can't harvest just like you can't harvest? Or they're
Sorry? No, it
permitted?
means they're allowed to eat it, even though the produce has a certain holiness. Okay, because all right, you couldn't even though the mice it has a certain it indicates a certain holiness in the produce because you couldn't work the land, and it's this is we said it's dedicated for Hashem. Shabbos was in your Shabbos Lashem. Nevertheless, and obviously the payers have to be eaten a certain way, which is only in the way they're supposed to be eaten, and not it can't be eaten in a way of wasting the fruit. Nevertheless, goyim are allowed to eat it as well.
But the goyim have to obey all the rules that the Jews have to obey in terms of how.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's go into Pasuk Zayin. Maybe we still have time just to one more Pasuk. Meir.
Okay, we'll leave him to Cha, v'lechaya asher bi'artzecha tihiyeh kol tevuata le'echol. Okay, so your animals and I guess what the wildlife, which are on your land, would be able to eat all the tavua, all its produce, I guess, all its crops. Okay. Rashi, v'liv hemtecha v'lachaya. It's your animals and the wild animals. Im chaya. Okay, so if it's a wild animal, ochelet, it can eat. It can eat.
I mean, if you can allow wild animals to eat of
Mhm.
the Shvius produce,
Can eat of the shvius produce. Behema lo kol
oh,
shechem.
behema lo kol shekain.
It's
Then
not true.
certainly you should be allowed your domesticated animals. Shemezonoseha olecho.
Oh, okay. For the for its food is on you.
Right,
In other words, you're responsible to feed them, right? I guess.
right.
Okay, matamud lomar
If so, what does the Torah mean?
Okay.
Believe him techa.
Okay. Makish behema l'chaya. Okay, what's makish?
We compare,
Who compares the animal to the wild animals. Okay, kozman shechaya ochelet min hasadeh, because the wild animals eat from the field. Okay, the no, not the ha'achel livchem techa. Feed your animal min habayit. Oh, from the house. Okay, kala l'chaya min hasadeh. Because kala is finished. No, it's finished.
right, meaning kozman shechaya ocheles in asodeh, ha'achel vehem techa min habayis. As long as it's available for the wild animals to be able to eat in the field, then you can feed your animal, your domesticated animals, from what's in the house.
Uh-huh.
Right? However, kala lachaya minasoda, if it's no longer available for wild animals in the field because the produce is no longer available in the field, then
Right.
kalei levehemtecha min habayis. Right? Remove it for your animals from the house. Means that you can no longer feed the animals from what you have in the house.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow.
Okay, this is what's called biur, zman habiur. That Torah tells us that when are you allowed to eat shvius produce in your house? That's only as long as it's available in the fields. Once it's no longer available in the fields, you cannot eat the shvius produce in your house, but rather you have to bio. I can't. That's the best way to translate it. It doesn't mean to destroy it. Bio means to remove it. You have to remove it from your house. And in fact,
Okay.
Chazal say what you have to do is, if somebody has shvius produce in his house, and it's higias man habio, which means it comes the time when this particular type of fruit is no longer available in the field, then whatever he has in the house, with the exception of mazon sholosh sudos, the amount he was going to eat for 3 meals.
Mhm.
But if he has more than that, more than what he needs to eat for 3 meals, whatever is over and above what he needs, what he normally would eat with 3 meals, then what he has over and above that, he has to make hefka. And once he's made it hefka, then as long as he doesn't reclaim it, as long as it remains hefka, he's allowed to eat it. Anybody's allowed to eat it for that matter.
Okay.
But that's called zman habiur.
Uh-huh. Okay. Very good.
Okay, fine. I think we'll stop here. This is basically referred to this, what the Torah says, speaks about Shemitah, and we're going to speak
Oh,
about Yovel in the next section.
excellent. Very good. Josh Kaya.
Okay, fine. Have a great day.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much. You
Rabbi.
too,
Bye.
Rabbi.
Carlton, be well.
Be well.